Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. Ash Brent, happy belated Father's Day to those of you who are fathers in the audience. Glad you're all here tuning in on Magic, the Mothership, the No Bull Network, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Like and share the video, subscribe. Make sure others who you think should see the show. Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerlam Hayfeed and Ranch Services.
Welcome into the Atzenoffer studio. For over 100 years, Atzenoffer's been a South Texas tradition. AT Deerlam Feed brings you the weather. It's 80 degrees under sunny skies today, heading to a high of 91. Man, it was hot in Houston this weekend.
Yeah.
The
Astros are winning.
Oh, yeah. The Astros are playing good. We'll get to that, but the First State Bank of Louise Astros update in a little while. Had a great Father's Day. I trust you did.
I did, yeah. It was nice.
Picked up another grandbaby yesterday.
Congratulations.
Katie gave birth to Caroline Grace.
Nice.
At 6:28 yesterday morning. Big day for the Carter clan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Marvin Mikish, Daniel Wade White, Mark Kurtz on the podium this morning. Scott Tomko, Ricky King, Bobby Leister, Stephanie Connie, Linda Chris Jr., Lisa Poole, Scott Snow, BJ, good morning.
Hello, BJ.
Heather Stewart, Rena Scherer checking in.
Hello, Rena.
Monty Howard, good morning.
It's good to see Monty Howard last week.
Yep. So breaking news out of the UK, Keir Starmer announcing this morning he is going to step down. This could take a while, folks. It's not like he's walking away today.
But he announced that he's stepping down. The announcement's been made public, and there was a live press conference at noon. It's already almost it's 1:00 in the afternoon in the UK, and he did step down. But he's not. You don't actually. I didn't know this, but you just don't. You don't leave. He stays there until they have the election. The overwhelming favorite's a guy named Andy Burnham. He's been extremely popular. We listened to Oliver Lane as a Breitbart News London bureau chief, and several weeks ago he said, "Oh, Burnham is the guy. Everybody wants him to be the guy. However, he can't become prime minister because he's not a member of parliament. That's just the way their system works." So, like a week ago, they had some kind of special election. This guy Burnham is a mayor somewhere in England, and they had a special election and elected Andy Burnham to Parliament, which opened the door, and it seems a foregone conclusion that he will be the next prime minister of the UK. It's interesting to me that they have had 6 resignations or 6. That's just their system. It's not like everybody quits. It's just that's how they do it. This will be their 8th prime minister in the last 10 years. That, for those of you that are Cowboy fans, you can't change offensive coordinators every year and expect to win the Super Bowl. So Starmer's only been in office a little over 2 years, the third shortest term for a prime minister. Starmer, of course, replacing Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
Long time.
Third shortest term this century. The century is only 26 years old.
Yeah. Not really. Churchill. I was joking for those of you literalists that don't get the show. Yeah. Tony Blair, look at that, was there for 10 years and 57 days.
Yeah. And then he resigned. Gordon Brown, David Cameron, Theresa May, Boris Johnson, Liz Truss was there for 50 days.
50 days.
Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer. That's the list. And the next one will probably be this Andy Burnham guy.
Why was she there 50 days?
I don't know.
Right here.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't care, really. I just think it's interesting that he's gonna rake in all the benefits of being prime minister for the summer, because this is when all the elite and all the leaders go and do all their stuff in Davos and the World Economic Forum. And he just got back from the G7 in France, and he'll probably go on a vacation.
Then he'll write a book.
but that's what he's going to do. And it probably will take until the end of summer for them to get a leader, because they're going to have to find, here's the way the parliamentary system works, to break it down real easily. Same in Canada. The leader of the party that's elected with the most seats is the prime minister. They don't vote on a prime minister countrywide. So they're going to have to find a riding, which is similar to which is a congressional district equivalent. They'll have to find a parliamentary riding where Burnham's election will be all but guaranteed. So they're going to have to find a white, traditional labor supporting riding for Burnham to run in. Mm-hmm. Then they're going to have to run the election, which means chances are whoever's in that seat now with the Labor Party is going to have to resign from that seat. Then they'll have to run a special election in that riding to replace him. Then Burnham will win election of parliament. Then they'll have a leadership convention, and then Burnham will be elected leader, and then he'll be anointed prime minister.
So their elections are kind of a sham. I mean,
no, it's just the way the system works.
Clearly efficient. Jordan Glass says, yes, we can have new coordinators every year. This is the Cowboys' year.
Yeah, of course.
Now, tomorrow's news today, Cowboys probably go 10-7.
Ernesto Gonzalez, good morning. Jordan Glass, P. Strauss, Andrew Alvarez, John Anderson, Jonathan Williams. So that's what's going to happen. But Starmer's he's going to milk this thing as long as he can. Yeah, I don't know. Nigel Farage has started the Reform Party there as a third party. Parliamentary system does lend itself to more than two parties, but in England, much like Canada, the Conservatives and the Labour Party are the majority, typically your big parties in London. So,
reminder, don't forget this weekend coming up on June the 28th from 11 to 2. There's a barbecue benefit being put on by the folks at Ramirez Transmission for Thelma Gamez. Ribs, chicken, and sausage. Rice, beans, all the trimmings, $15. Go by. They're helping, honestly, defray some funeral costs.
Starmer just looks like a minion, doesn't he?
Yeah. No, he's definitely a loser. I mean, that guy's a spare. Yeah.
A lot of interesting stuff with Iran over the weekend. The talks collapsed yesterday. I guess J.D. Vance flew over there Saturday to Switzerland to talk. And then Iran's negotiating team walked out yesterday after less than an hour and a half.
My fear with this is that Trump is reaching a point, if he hasn't reached it already, where I believe he's going to be content that Republicans are going to lose the midterms, which is just going to throw his administration into turmoil for the full last 2 years. I don't doubt that there's a really good chance that he just goes back and just bombs the heck out of Iran. I know it's not the right thing to do, probably. It's probably not going to make him any more popular, but he's got nothing left to lose. So
no, and I mean, is he getting to a point where it's the boy who cried wolf? He's bluffed so many times that you have to call his bluff because he's used that sort of whip. It's not a carrot, it's a whip to kind of get Iran to do what they want every time there's one of these sort of back steps. Then he threatens to bomb the heck out of them, and
then they give in, but then they don't give in. And like Ted Cruz said, the idea of giving hundreds of billions of dollars to a theocratic lunacy, and then you expect them to do what works for you. They're not. The problem that we have in this country is that deep inside we want to believe that everybody is basically good. And they're just not. These are not good people. They're not. The leadership, the rank and file, the people themselves may be fine. And that's the only call for any benevolence in your actions. If it comes down to the leadership, they have shown, Ash, whether it's the first Ayatollah, the second Ayatollah, or the current Ayatollah, that they're all theocratic lunatics.
Yeah, they don't care about their people.
No.
They just care about keeping consolidated power and keeping their people oppressed and living off the riches of their people. So some of the key terms from the agreement that was agreed to last week and signed in Versailles, they're all signed in Versailles, it seems, since the Treaty of Versailles. But permanent cessation of military operations across all fronts, including in Lebanon, which is interesting because the U.S. isn't in Lebanon. That's an Israel deal, but apparently that was part of the agreement. So
Trump wants Hezbollah to stand down, but he's kind of saying, I want you to acknowledge that you are the largest state-funded promoter of terrorism. He wants Iran to say, okay, we'll quit funding Hezbollah.
Yeah.
And they're balking at that.
The Strait of Hormuz to be reopened. And I think there was a 30-day phase out of blockades on both sides. Well, on the weekend, Iran said, well, we're closing the Strait of Hormuz again, just 2 days after agreeing not to do that. And about a third of what is normal traffic through there got through, I think, on Saturday or Sunday. The U.S. was going to waive sanctions on Iran and unfreeze up to $25 billion in assets, depending on compliance. Which
just means we're opening their ports again. See, we've had sanctions on them, and we've shut down their ports. So we're willing to open your ports. This is interesting to me because there's been some apparently misinformation. They're going to unfreeze $25 billion in assets. So that's Iranian assets that we have had seized.
Yes.
And then down below it says for reconstruction, there's a proposed $300 billion post-war economic development fund. It's backed by Gulf countries. It's not the United States giving them $300 billion. It's the countries in the Gulf or, over there. UAE, I guess, and other folks
Saudis and
that are saying, hey, we'll give them $300 billion.
But here's the thing. If it's a loan and expected to be paid back, they have no money. And they've proven that their word cannot be believed. This is the problem I have with some of this agreement is the Iranian leaders' words are useless.
So why not just eliminate them? I mean, why not just go in and bomb them until they're gone? Seriously, why not? That's essentially what Obama tried to do. I mean, he routinely bombed them.
I mean, if we have the greatest intelligence apparatus in the world, and the Mossad has arguably, if we're one, they're 1A. If they're one, we're 1A, right?
Right.
We routinely share intelligence.
Between those two countries,
we should be able to find out where their leaders are and just be eliminating them until they decide that the seventh generation doesn't want to die anymore.
I agree. I think that ought to be.
But here's the issue I've got with this agreement. Iran says they will maintain their current status quo of its nuclear program, which means they won't be enriching uranium for weapons grade uranium, right? They won't get it to that level. And then they will promise never to develop a nuclear weapon again. Well, until you get a regime change, I can't believe them.
I agree. Because just one layer of leadership ago, they said it was their inalienable right to do so. To Jared Kushner.
Yeah.
Wait. Lisa Poole says, do we need to buy ticks for this benefit dinner meal? Yes. You can call Al Trevino at Ramirez Transmission, 2501 South Laurent.
Or just go by there.
You can go by there. Yeah, you can go by there. But you can call and let them know you're going to come by and pick up plate. Hey, I need 6 plates, and I'll bring you a check when I come. That kind of deal. It helps them plan for their fundraiser. But they do a great job because it's not. It ought to be Ramirez Transmission and Barbecue, because you and I have gone when they do the law enforcement and first responder appreciation, which is they're always giving to the community. Yeah. And that's why we, Ash and I joke about dollar a holler, that, we take money from everybody. We don't charge these guys a dime to advertise their program.
Money from everybody either.
No, we really don't. But don't tell anybody that. But they do a tremendous job. And it's a good time to tell you folks too, and we're going to take a break and we'll talk about it, but these sponsors that you see on your screen, they are the ones that allow us to promote things like Ms. Gamez's barbecue lunch on the 28th. They allow us to promote that for free. These folks, USA Foundation Repair, Veracruz, Allen's Went, Paravita, Cody Bauman, Palace Bingo, Chestnut, First State Bank, Chopping Block, Deerland Feed, and of course Atzenhofer. They allow us to have a forum that allows us to give to the community. Otherwise, we couldn't do it. So all of those folks in total are extremely valuable to us. You've heard all the things we say. 578-HOME, call Charlie Garcia, the Singing Cowboy. Veracruz, get in today. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Went services for all your electrical needs. Paravita Wellness, get in and get healthy. If you're not careful, it just becomes a mind-numbing array of verbiage, but at the same time, make a note that these are the blue blood, many of them quite old, mature Victoria businesses that drive
family-owned
this market.
businesses.
That's right. These are your friends and neighbors.
Yep.
And
you support them, they support the community.
Absolutely. And then in turn, they support folks like Ramirez Transmission. So yes, Lisa, I would call and let them know that you want some plates.
Summer, Lisa's a retired teacher. She's got nothing better to do. Drive down there and buy a couple.
There you go. $15 a throw, and it's all going to, all of it is going to a good cause.
So Iran walked out. Trump threatened to blow the
SHIT out of them.
Yeah. And then Iran fired back saying, we're ready to give them a response in a different way. What does that mean? To me, the only different response they could give would be to drop a nuclear bomb on somebody.
Yeah. And what gets me about Iran is, at what point does somebody just beating you in the face with their fist, do you say to them, yeah, your hand's going to get sore in a little while? Just quit. Unless we're being lied to. And Iran's not as decimated as we've been told. But I believe people like Ted Cruz would be calling that out. Senator Cruz basically saying, hey, these people are nuts. They're nuts. And Trump has said it too.
Yeah, I don't. Well, they are. They don't care about anybody but themselves as leaders. But I just, we've been told that, we destroyed their Navy. We destroyed their Air Force. But then we agree to, 21-day ceasefires in the middle of all this. And then all it does is allow Iran to restock their drones.
Right.
Because they can't get a ship built fast enough. And then they start using their drones again. On some level, I feel like we've been played a little bit in this thing, right?
Yeah, I'd be curious to see, what Cruz, here's Ted Cruz' exact quote. History demonstrates that giving billions of dollars to theocratic lunatics who want to murder us is an exceptionally bad idea.
Yeah.
John
Cornyn, this is probably one of the few things I agree with John Cornyn on. He said he didn't read the entire text of the agreement, but called it a mixed bag at best. And that's kind of where I am after looking at the main considerations of this thing.
President Trump defended the agreement, and Vice President J.D. Vance, who led the negotiations, said Iran gets no U.S. money and gains relief only if it complies fully. There you go.
But they've shown since February 28th, when this all started, that they can't be relied on to comply fully with anything. So why do we keep believing that they're going to? They haven't been believable for 40 years, 47 years.
Linda Chris says they now claim to have an Air Force. There's a state representative from House District 30, A.J. Latterback, checking in. Good morning, sir. It was great to have him on last week. I think we have Rick Jones from the school board coming in tomorrow. I guess newly appointed president of the school board. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. Stephanie Connie says, so they aren't getting anything, but they are. They've been getting time to rebuild their drones and some of that capability that they then use to close the Strait of Hormuz. And they don't even have to physically blockade it because you're in the business. Insurance companies aren't going to underwrite the ships as long as there's tension and the threat of one of them blowing up or being destroyed through there. And companies aren't willing to take the chance and the risk of losing that ship when it goes through.
I don't disagree with Stephanie Connie. She says, trust the deal maker. I have observed that, it's somewhat observable that the deals that Donald Trump tries to make, he typically gets made. He does. I'm going to be curious to see, have any big tankers, have any big ships that weren't military been sunk in the Strait of Hormuz during all of this flurry?
Good question.
I don't think so. I don't think they have. There's lots and lots of, on social media, especially like on X, lots of AI generated garbage where they tried to show you video of the USS Abraham Lincoln being, basically sunk. Just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. Yeah, Andrew Alvarez says, trust the deal maker. But like I said before, the Iranis are the personification of buyers or liars.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't trust the ones on that side making the deal. And I don't, and blind trust on our side is bad too.
Yeah. And yet, if we're objective, it has seemed a little ticky-tack, technicality driven that the U.S., we're in a ceasefire, but we did blow up some missile sites. We're in a ceasefire, but we did sink a couple of their boats. We're in a ceasefire, but these were merely defensive attacks. And they just say it so matter of fact that we believe it, this was not a wholesale carpet bombing of Iran. It was
targeted
that kind to me, if you and I
never really had a ceasefire.
Right. It's just been a de-escalation of aggression. If you and I agree to sit down and talk something out and we're no longer going to slap each other and I reach over and just go, pow, that was just preemptive, in case you were to do something.
Yeah. In case you were going to do it.
I don't understand.
CBS News poll, 69% say the conflict with Iran has not been worth the cost.
And you know what? 69% of this country is just delusional. Sorry. When you have a country that that's clearly outmanned, does anybody have any doubt that the United States could go over there? I'll answer the question for you. We could go over there and drop a nuke on that place and turn it into a sea of glass, which, by the way, would be so cool to see. When you know that you can't beat your opponent, that you just can't beat your opponent. Iran is counting on Trump losing the midterm elections. Iran is counting on this country turning on itself because Americans either don't have the heart, don't have the guts, don't have the stick-to-itiveness any longer to stay the course and do the battle that needs to be done. Everybody seems to agree that Iran had it coming. They've been poking the bear for 47 years. The USS Cole, 9/11, all these muzzy terrorists have been involved in all this stuff. So somebody finally goes over there and does something that every other president threatened to do. Obama dabbled in. Obama would give him $100 billion and then bomb him for a while. It was just a trade-off for the elitists in power. But now people are like, no, the cost has been too great. You know, the price of gasoline's high. People in World War II, Ash, had coupons to buy food. Women went to work in aircraft factories. You know, it's the result. Look, the American Revolution would never have happened if we were counting on today's American to get it done. Oh, well, it's just England. Just pay the taxes. Who cares about representation? You don't really need freedom. Just bow to the crown. That's what would happen in this country today. I'm convinced. Nobody wants to pay the price to be free. And these people don't even want to enslave you. They want to kill you. That's what you don't seem to get, you 69% of gutless Americans. They want to kill you. And oh, by the way, I saw a deal the other day, Actually, it was hilarious. Purple-haired lady just screaming that, you know, why can't we just have more immigration and just Muslims are welcome here. Right. Well, they hate lesbians. They're going to rape you and then kill you. But sure, bring them in. You're a genius.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the ultimate form of irony that all these people want people here that hate them just because of their lifestyle and want to kill them.
Yeah. See, Scott Snow says they're counting on it. The left supports terrorist regime. You see the left historically as a group of sheep. And they want, so the more dominant the dictator, the more they want to follow them.
And Jonathan brings up a point. It's not a trust issue. Is there a deal possible with the agents involved issue? And I think that what makes it tougher because we've had sanctions on Iran for 47 years, some form of sanctions. And at some point, we unfreeze their assets and give them money back to them. But it hasn't stopped them from doing business because China doesn't care about the sanctions. Russia doesn't care about the sanctions.
And they're both grateful that somebody like Iran is doing their part to undermine the United States.
Christy Thurman says, if I lived over there, I'd be getting the hell out no matter what it took. There may be some serious damage heading their way soon. But where are they going to go? Where are they going to go?
Gaza. Go to Gaza. That's in the rebuild mode.
Haven't heard anything on that lately, have we?
No.
Monty Howard says, I agree with what y'all are saying about Iran's perception of the American public's resolve. I don't think it's even Iran's perception. I think this is the perception of anybody that hates America right now.
Yeah.
They know we won't do it. And that's why they can't stand Donald Trump, because at least he talks the talk and somewhat walk the walk with Iran. And he's shown to be a tough negotiator with other countries.
But Monty goes on and says, I chalk that up to the Democrat leadership contrarianism to everything and the division that it's causing. Yeah.
Well, this is also the byproduct of a generation or two of those who've been taught by communists, those who've been taught that the collective is good and that individualism is bad. Capitalism is bad. Capitalism is the reason the world's a mess, which it isn't. And so here you are.
Linda adds, I believe everyone believes that something needs to finally be done, but people are tired of fighting with an enemy we could beat in one day. People want it over with because it can be. And it may not be as simple as one day, and it may not actually involve boots on the ground, door-to-door fighting. It may involve boots on the ground to police the situation. You may have to have a military presence in the country to emphasize. But then again, I think you would probably just have little terroristic cells and people, young kids, 15, 16 years old with AK-47s coming out and ambushing American soldiers.
I don't know in Iran, to be honest. I don't.
I think don't forget people want to be free.
Don't forget, our attack in February came on the heels of a wholesale slaughter of protesters in Iran, right?
Yeah.
I mean, depending on who you believe, the Iranians, we only killed a couple hundred that were doing bad things to our police, attacking our police first. Or do you believe the independent sources that say they killed over 100,000 of their own people who were just protesting?
So I'll flip that back to you. What do you think that the world sees with our own ICE agents? Do you think the world sees Donald Trump cracking down on illegal immigrants, or do you think that they look and go, look, Trump's got his own Gestapo-esque army?
That's exactly what they see, because that's what the media has been portraying, right? Until you actually get into and see the video of that idiot in Minnesota who kicked the car and did all the things he did.
Yeah. I got a today stat for you, just in an interjection of something that's not so depressing. On this date in 1938, something truly very American happened. Joe Louis, the brown bomber, buried at Arlington National Cemetery, I've seen the stone, beat Max Schmeling, big German, in a rematch at Madison Square Garden. I think I may have made that up, but I think it was at Madison Square Garden. Did such a place exist in 1938? At any rate.
It was a different Madison Square Garden.
He beat Max Schmeling. What was important about that was Adolf Hitler's bravado was in high form in 1938. The white man is superior, all that garbage. When we all know that the black man is superior. We see that in every sport, except curling. But anyway, Joe Louis beat Max Schmeling in 120 seconds in the first round in front of 70,000 people. The key there being, it's much like Jesse Owens dominating the Olympics for America. Joe Louis beating Max Schmeling was very American. It showed that the black man was an American and that the Aryan myth was just that. And was one of the really, truly one of the most important sports moments in history when Joe Louis beat Max Schmeling in 1938.
Didn't change anything, though. I mean, it was symbolic, but it didn't really change anything because the world believed what the media was telling them about Germany.
Yep.
Right. There's the dangers of just wholesale gobbling up what the media feeds you. But I mean, the problems go back further. This goes back to, instead of bringing in immigrants and assimilating them to American values, and every country is guilty of this. And now you've got countries in Europe. Poland's the only one of the few that said, you know what, forget it. If you're not Polish or want to be Polish, you're not coming in here. And now everybody's looking at Poland and Europe to go, geez, how can we recreate? Well, it's too late.
So you mean they wanted to have people come in, learn the language, and assimilate?
Yeah, and if you don't want to do that and you can't do that, we're not letting you in.
What a novel idea.
Yeah. No, it is.
Silly Polacks.
But the West, post-World War II, has gone, you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. And I don't know how you do it. Trump's trying to do it. His policies were America first, make America great again. And the world hated him for that.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it funny that nobody, save Rosie O'Donnell, nobody's trying to move out of the U.S. Everybody seems to want to come here.
Didn't she come back?
Even though no, they wouldn't let her back, I don't think. Everybody wants to come here, even though it's such a terrible, terrible place.
But the countries that we told everybody to come from, and you can keep doing what you're doing, try to go there and do what you've done here there. They don't let you.
Go have a baby over there and think that it's going to be Italian. It's just not.
Try to immigrate to Mexico.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go to the Middle East to figure this out.
Donald Trump talking about President Steinbaum. That lady. Great old Hispanic name, Steinbaum. That he said, hey, he goes, she's a great lady and I like her very much, but she's scared and you don't hear much out of her lately. And he's right.
Well, and
the cartels run Mexico.
Yeah. And to be honest, I'd be scared of the cartels too if I was in power. Or you'd have to get in power and know that your time is limited, but try to undo all that the cartel has done. That's a war in Mexico that nobody wants to fight because the cartels are better armed and better outfitted than the Mexican army.
And that's where, nationalism, where pride, if Mexico would reach out and invite the U.S. to come in and clean up the cartels, I believe the U.S. would go, and I believe the U.S. could clean up a lot of it.
Well, I think we had a hand in that one killing of the one cartel member in Jalisco that started some of the burning of buses and cartel, response. I'm sure the U.S. had a hand in that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We just don't know. We've had a hand in the killing of, we grabbed Maduro, and then very quietly a couple of weeks ago, and nobody's talking about this, we killed the leader of Tren de Aragua. And there was no Tren de Aragua response in the U.S. as a result. But we went into Venezuela and
Venezuela on the uptick. Things are going much better in Venezuela. Curious about what's going to happen with Cuba.
Yep.
While you find that, how about a quick Astros update? First State Bank of Louise Astros update. Yesterday, Astros win. Ash had pointed out that with the exception of one series recently, the Astros are winning series again. 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4.
3 games back in the AL West.
I like their chances of winning the AL West. I think we saw some glimpses of what could be. Hunter Brown's came back. We've got Arrighetti didn't pitch great yesterday, but he wasn't terrible. He didn't pitch great. You've got Josh Hader is in a zone of domination that makes his $19 million a year a bargain. He just comes in and overpowers people. He basically tells them, here comes the fastball, try to hit it, and they don't. The Guardians are somewhat hapless. I don't even know what their record is, but 30. I've ever heard of. Gaddis pitched for a while yesterday. That my observations from being there, Yordan Alvarez hits the baseball really, really hard. He's a large, angry man, and he did play left field yesterday. Jose Altuve pinch hit. A young kid played Raynel Delgado.
Yeah,
Delgado played second. Was it Delgado?
Delgado, yeah.
Played second base. And Tang yesterday went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He had 4 strikeouts and only walked 1.
Hader got
he
the
did
save.
fine.
Yeah, Arrighetti pitched, I guess, Saturday maybe.
Yeah, Arrighetti pitched over the weekend, and I think in the game we lost, right? I don't know.
I want to think so.
I may have made that up. But Jordan hit a home run. Isak Paredes is a fantastic baseball player.
Yeah, Arrighetti pitched Saturday.
Yeah.
Struck out 8 in 6 innings, but also gave up 6 earned runs.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Yeah.
Did really well. When you go back to Hader, go back to yesterday's box, what is Hader's ERA now?
1.13.
1.13, which is amazing. He gave up a home run in his 7th inning. He's pitched now 8 innings, 8 or 9 for the season, and he gave up 1 home run. He went from a 0 to a 1.13. Things can happen pretty quick in baseball. But Josh Hader is just elite, standing alone at the top of the closer mountain in the Astros. They have the best in the business. Hunter Brown's back. Arrighetti, Tang, Amai. They're not bad. I mean, they're going to, we talk about Cam Smith only hitting 2-something, but at the same time, he's a big, powerful kid. Jeremy Pena's playing great baseball. The Astros can be special. That ball got out in a hurry. I mean, it was a line drive that just went.
I can't help but think that if we would have had Hader instead of him wasting all those years in Milwaukee when the Astros were winning World Series in 2017 and in contention for pretty much the rest of that, the teens and into the 20s, if we would have had somebody like Hader on the back end, we might have
won 4 or 5 of them.
Might have.
Yeah. Ryan Presley was really good for a short period of time. Yeah. But
problem wasn't just the closer role. The bullpen wasn't exactly.
Well, you had Brian Abreu, who seems to have kind of ebbed back into the Brian Abreu of old. He admitted himself. He goes, I'd gotten fat. I'd gotten kind of lazy. And he refocused himself and had done well. I don't know. The Astros they're kind of an enigma. It's not a team that you want to – we're not going to sell off all of our best players, but
the season's been – I mean, I if we don't have the injuries –
we could be really good.
I think they're 3 games up in the AL West. We may not be running away with the American League, best record in the American League, right. But I think we've got some space between us and the Mariners because nobody's running away with the AL West.
Los Angeles Angels are down at the bottom of the division at 32-47. They got some bad news over the weekend as Mike Trout goes on the IL with a bad hamstring. Trout's going to run into Father Time here pretty quick, and it's a shame. Already. It's a shame because I think just based on raw numbers alone, Mike Trout is a Hall of Famer, but it's a shame that he's had just really no success.
None.
As a
and the team's been completely mismanaged. I mean, they let Ohtani walk for nothing.
Yeah.
When they knew they didn't have the pieces to contend with them, they should have. I mean, they could have
traded him and gotten 5 or 6 players.
Yeah.
And 3 of whom would be playing right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right? Could have gotten 6 players. You could have gotten a frontline pitcher. You could have gotten at least 2 everyday starters. And you could have picked up 3 prospects for Ohtani, and they just let him leave in free agency.
Probably would be leading the American League West for how bad it is right now with some of that talent. Absolutely. Astros just 3 games back. Go to Toronto to start a series with the Blue Jays.
Worth
today,
noting,
Hunter Brown will pitch today.
The Athletics are the only team in the division with a winning road record. Everybody in the AL West loses on the road.
I'm curious if their games in Vegas are considered away games or home games.
I don't know.
Because technically they're a neutral site, but.
Nice crowd at Dyken Park yesterday. Lots and lots of families. And you know what I noticed? And again, as always, welcome to our base, our home base at Magic 95.9 FM. What I see consistently at Dyken Park is the Latino, the Hispanic family dynamic on display. In general, you will see, if you see families, they're typically Hispanic. And I made the comment yesterday, this particular couple happened to be Anglo, but there was a husband and wife, He had on like an Astros golf shirt, which, by the way, those start at $100 and $100 for a golf shirt. And she had on some kind of Astros t-shirt and stuff. They had 3 gorgeous little kids that the oldest was maybe 6, but they were all walking. And in fact, the last 2, Ash, might have been twins, might have been like you and Corey. But at any rate, each kid had on a Nolan Ryan jersey, and I just sat there and watched it, and I'm like, this guy spent $2,000 to go to the ballpark. By the time he bought 5 tickets, and they don't give a kid a ticket, 5 tickets, he and his wife had the $11 souvenir soda cup. There were chicken fingers everywhere. Really, this guy was honestly, he was probably in for $700.
How many kids?
3. They all had a drink.
So even on the low end, $100 a seat. There's $500 right
Oh,
there.
sure. Yeah, he's probably in for $1,000 to go to the game.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Oil prices were up, then they're down a little bit, and it looks like gas prices are
coming down
a little bit. So according to the AAA today, the average price $3.93 a gallon. Still higher than when the war began, but
see, I think they should report that number, not to make Trump look good, but to be realistic. They should report that number without all the federal and state taxes involved, because they don't. Well, I guess they do. I'm wrong, because right there in California, no, I don't. Maybe not, since California is $5.58 a gallon.
That's all tax.
But that influences. So you've got, is California the most populous state?
I think so.
Right. So you've got the majority, or the biggest state. Texas is at 342. California is at 558. I mean, 50% higher? More than that. From 342, it's $2.16 a gallon higher. We're only at 342 a gallon. California skews that number because there's so many Californians. But it's still relative. I mean, I'm just saying, if you want a realistic idea of what gasoline really costs, it's kind of like when you buy beer. The taxes are what kill you. The beer is practically free. P. Strauss says, nice crowd at the brewery yesterday, also including the Texas bucket list guy. Yeah.
Jordan Glass says he's seeing $3.35 gas this morning.
That'll work. Yes, Heather Stewart points out that fuel prices generally rise in the summer, but they've been so artificially high because of the skirmish in Iran that
I'm not sure the gas prices really followed the market on this one.
No.
But
there's profit taking. Ricky King said he saw diesel for $4.25 a gallon. Which,
better load up. Go buy some yellow cans.
Yeah.
City of San Antonio, 11-0. City Council voted last week to offer Toyota a tax break and incentives. They want an assembly line there and the 2,000 jobs on the city's south side that it'll create. $185 million package. Has a 10-year property tax abatement. The city will also fund road improvements. Worker training, which I don't get why the city's paying for that. Utility upgrades, and there would be clawback provisions if Toyota undelivers.
If Toyota doesn't meet certain, like if they don't create 1,500 jobs, or if it doesn't directly lead to the purchase of 300 houses, then there's ways for the city to claw back some of their abatement. Says it's not a done deal. Toyota says it's still weighing other U.S. sites. We're hopeful if San Antonio is selected, it will be another once-in-a-generation investment, said Toyota Texas President Frank Voss.
Hey, someone get this to Frank Voss. Hey, Frank Voss, look 110 miles south to Victoria, Texas.
It would never work. It couldn't work. We don't have the workforce to provide them 2,000 people.
People would come. We don't need the workforce.
You think they would move here for the jobs?
Oh, heck yeah. They moved to Floresville for the jobs.
Fair. Where would you build it? I'm just curious, like, where could we go?
That's not my problem. I just want them to look here.
Solid.
They don't, that's the problem. None of these companies ever look here.
Yeah. We hope to have somebody in from our own EDC, our Economic Development Corp, soon, just to talk about. There are exciting things going on, and we've joked about it for years. You know, it's going to be great. Can't tell you about it, but it's going to be great. But I think there are some things they can talk about a little bit that are good.
Well, remember a few years ago when Amazon was looking for their new headquarters, and they put out a plea to every city in the country to send them a package as to why. And we
probably should have sent a packet just to get our name out there a little bit.
Yep. Nope. Didn't send one.
Yeah. You got to dream big.
And USA. And here's the thing, like all of the national media listed every city.
That's right.
That submitted a proposal.
That's why you do it.
That's why you do
send it out.
Yeah. Paperwork and a stamp maybe, or an email at that point.
Yep.
But no. There were cities the size of Victoria and some smaller that actually submitted something but no.
It could have been like Field of Dreams, you know, if you build it, they will come.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you got rail if you're looking for an assembly line. Where is it? What do they want to build there?
John Anderson asks, who's the biggest employer in Victoria? Is it probably Steck?
No, probably Citizens. VISD.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Your tax dollars at work.
Yep. Let's see who else. Who else I'm trying to see. No, it doesn't say.
KSAT.com not helping us.
No, not at all.
Have to give our source. There you go. Of the 11 facilities, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, and Indiana also have existing assembly lines. There you go.
I guess it would depend on what they're building, because the one in
Southwest Independent School District has already indicated it supports the project. Don't think for a minute that our schools aren't super important.
I think Bexar County is going to vote on their portion of the tax abatement later this week. Tomorrow they will hold a public hearing on a separate tax abatement valued at more than $55 million.
When are they going to do that?
Tomorrow.
I like it. You say tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I like it. It's very Canadian.
And I guess Governor Abbott's even weighing a state incentive backed by Southwest ISD. So there you go. I'm guessing that means they won't take taxes from that land, the ISD.
Give a quick shout out to John Paul Hull and James Geets and remind you that there's space available for you here at the offices at 205. Very, very nice. You could be our neighbor. You could be our Mr. Rogers. Bring your cardigan, preferably red. Come on up. There's also another space down the hall. It's a great spot. If I needed like a single office or maybe me and one assistant, it'd be a fantastic spot because it's very, very quiet. And the people that do work in this space, there's some different cosmetic and I say lady-driven businesses. And it's a nice, quiet place with great acoustics, great play. It'd be a great place to have a call center. I mean, 2 or 3 people in there making phone calls would be great.
What do we have? There's a pool company up here, photography company, and then an aesthetics place. Yep.
John Anderson, how many students in Victoria East and West these days? The school district has about 12,500 students, Masaminos. I'd say, I don't know, there's probably $2,000 each.
$2,000 each,
roughly, $2,000 each at each high school, and they're both maybe. They're 5A schools. Yeah.
Only because we now have a 6A classification.
Right. Yeah, they're not 6A.
No. What else is going on?
I love this. This is off of what is this? The Flyover.
Yeah.
They do a really good job of finding minutia that's interesting. Here's one. A vendor breach may have exposed driver's license, passport, email, phone, and address data for more than 3 million Texas hunting and fishing license holders. Not Social Security numbers or financial data. Texas Parks and Wildlife is offering free Kroll credit monitoring. So somebody hacked into the Texas Parks and Wildlife website, and they've got your data, which just means they're going to bombard you with ads. It's not, they're not going to get credit cards.
They might. So if you've got a hunting license,
which I do,
or a fishing license,
and I do,
a vendor that handles the sale of hunting and fishing licenses. Why isn't Texas Department of Wildlife doing this?
For example, could be Academy. Not saying it is, but it could be Academy. It says we recognize the seriousness of this issue, and this is from Fox, and have identified and implemented additional security options to better protect customer info.
Too late.
Many of our staff are hunters and anglers and were affected by this incident. Many of our staff. Okay, like it's that's what that was.
Yeah.
We're committed to continuing to work with the licensed system vendor to implement increased safeguards to prevent future incidents. This kind of stuff happens. It's a shame. But what you can do, you can call 844-959-7123, only to be told, due to heavy call volume, if you'd like a call back, hit star now.
Yeah. Or try to call back at less busy times.
Right. 8 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
Yeah. Texas Parks and Wildlife Department officials say anyone who notices suspicious activity on their account should contact their financial institution or the credit bureau reporting the activity. So, goodness. It's all up to you now.
It's up to you. It's our fault. We're in the same boat with you. It happened to us as well.
Yeah.
3 million. That's 10% of Texas. That's interesting.
Then the only reason they didn't get your social is because I don't think you need a social to get a hunting or fishing license, right?
You don't have to.
Got
to have an ID though. But you can vote. But
Yeah. No. Real quick, police arresting a lot of people who are vandalizing the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool.
People have been cutting the line.
Yeah, this is how stupid people are.
Stupid.
The biggest issue, and here's the problem. Trump went and promised that the pool was going to have blue, clear water.
No.
And you're going to be able to see through it, right?
It's a stagnant. To stop the leaks.
That's what that was the goal of it. Stop the leaks, because that thing was leaking a lot of water.
And they act like it's a mud bottom. I was there. It's a concrete pool. You walk and you see the bottom of it, right? They're driving trucks on it. Yeah. David Hearn, a 3-time Olympic canoeist. So this guy's arguably an American athlete. Says he was handcuffed after merely touching a flap of blue sealant that was already peeling from the bottom. Law enforcement said, hey, don't touch it. So he touched it. He got arrested. Why is this news? Is this news? Click on him. Let's see what this guy looks like. Canoeist. He could be one of those tree huggers. Let's see. Nah, he looks like a normal guy. He's got a Mike Tyson tattoo on his face. Not really. He doesn't.
No, he does not.
A good-looking guy.
Don't have a mugshot of him.
No.
Well, why is this news? Because Trump said he was going to fix it.
And apparently it's not fixed. So the media wants to hammer the president.
But people are pouring chemicals into it. People are trying to destroy what Trump said he was going to fix.
No, that is true. People have been caught pouring chemicals into the water.
And cutting the lining. Like, what's the purpose of that? Seriously. It's
an attack on democracy. It's an insurrection.
These are idiots that have such bad Trump derangement syndrome. They have to undermine anything he's doing, good, bad, or indifferent. If it's bad, they cheer for it. If it's good, fixing a problem that no previous administration has been able to fix at a cost of 1/3 of what the last attempt to fix it cost that didn't fix it.
Right. Obama spent over $34 million on it. Nobody knew.
No.
Patrick Strauss says, I hear you have to have an ID to enter the Obama library. Yeah, but you don't have to have an ID to vote. That would be terrible.
Yeah, no kidding.
What's the name of the local news company in Victoria? It's called Wade and Carter.
That's it.
We hope you folks have a great day. We love you. It's the top of the hour. It's Monday. Go win Monday. You can't win the week if you don't win Monday. We love you, folks. Bye-bye.
Bye, folks.